Things to know, number 4. I have real questions about both Kansas and Baylor. The last two teams from this conference to win a national championship, and I have some concerns. Let's start with Kansas. Maybe have the best player in the league, maybe the best player in college basketball, in Darren Peterson. I don't know if they put the pieces around him to be able to thrive the way you would want him to thrive. Love Flory Badunga. I think he has a chance to really break out this year. But Melvin Council, Jaden Dawson, and Trey White, I wouldn't necessarily qualify as 3-and-D threats. And I don't know, man. Tio, where do you stand on what Self has put together here? Is this the roster that he needed to have around Darren Peterson, who's going to be an absolute stud, by the way? Like he's somewhere in like the Donovan Mitchell category of
That's
stud
not a
guards.
not a bad comparison there. Bigger. You know who I compared him to, and I was kind of thinking about this when I was watching him, and he's like chiseled out of stone.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy when I was coming up, and people don't understand his comparison because they didn't see it, but like OJ Mayo was built a certain way,
Oh,
but Bill Walker was the explosive one out of the two.
oh,
And Darren Peterson has OJ's skill level with Bill Walker's athleticism.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I think he's really good.
So
John.
you think he could be the number 1 pick in the draft?
I don't think I'm alone in that thinking. I think there's a lot of people kind of on that train. He's going to have to play like that way because you look at some of the guys they added around him, like who are the transfers they got? Melvin Council. Jaden Dawson.
Yep.
Trey White.
Trey White's had some success. Those other guys, though, just fine. Peterson's going to be interesting, man. Like he's going to have to play like the number 1 pick in some of these massive games. Like you remember when Kevin Durant was just going nuts on people?
Yes.
Like we're going to need that for Kansas to be in the conversation for the top of the Big 12.
It's going to be a very
how things have changed.
Yeah, it's going to be very different than what you saw from Cooper Flag, where like he took over games without making it look like he was taking over games. Does that make sense? Like
like Darren Peterson's going to take over games. They're going to be loud.
Yeah. Cooper did the quiet things very well. Darren Peterson, like you're gonna need like 30 burgers from him to be able to win some of these big games, and you might get him too. Like
I think you will get some. You will get some.
Yep. Phantom, Kansas, Baylor concerns.
Well, with Kansas, the concern is that then you're relying on a freshman to the degree that you're relying on him, and I think the other concern is now, can Trey White and Flory Badunga function as a consistent every game front court? I think Flory, like he showed a lot of flashes last year, no question about it, and I like him as a player. This is a different role. I think with Kansas, you know what the concern is?
What's that?
Like, I'm not saying that they're going to be a top 5 team, even though that's for a different discussion that maybe we can get to here in a second, because they're not that type of team. But did they get guys who like each other? They get pieces who all fit together. I think that Bill's coaching has been hampered the last couple of years because I don't think his roster's fit. And that's on the staff to identify the pieces that fit to what they want to do. But, he said the last couple of years, I started working on next year. We started working on that, 3 weeks ago before the season ended. And it's like, yeah, I know you did, but when you publicly admit it, it says something about the guys that you currently had. So, like, I want to, like, Melvin Council's a talented player. Jaden Dawson's a talented player. But to me, it's more about, like, do they get it? Do they get what they signed up for? Are they on the same page? Does Kansas play together, or are they going to be over-reliant on an individual piece? It is post-Hunter Dickinson. And Hunter Dickinson, as much as he was a stat collector, it didn't end up working out the way that they wanted it to work out. Far from it. Far from it. And their defense was not good at all. Is Kansas going to be okay defensively? That's a big concern. Are they going to be able to function?
I think they'll be better defense. I think they'll be better defensively.
Should be. With Baylor, it's interesting because you're talking about a program that was on top of the world 4 short years ago. But they're another team that when we look at what they've done recently, Last year they were 62 in defensive efficiency, and the year prior to that they were 72. They have not been a good defense, like a top 50 defensive team. Rob, like, it wasn't that long ago that Baylor was consistently top 5 to 10 in defense in the country. You said they are tough as hell, and they're going to guard the hell out of you.
The roster that they put together when Scott's teams was at their best, right, was you had off-night Davion Mitchell, you had Mark Vidal out there that allowed you to switch everything, you had rim protectors that erased everything at the bucket, and they did all of that while also being able to be one of the best offensive rebounding teams and one of the best three-point shooting teams. The year that they won it, they were top 5 in three-point shooting percentage, in offensive rebounding rate, and in defensive turnover rate. So what they did was make the most efficient shot in college basketball at the highest level that anybody could make it, and then also managed to find a way to be able to maximize the number of shots that they had. So it's
to me,
they're missing that. They don't have that. They can't guard the way that they had. They don't have that same level of player anymore. It's a very strange, and they had the money. Like I don't quite understand what has happened there. And I think the simple answer might be, guys, that Scott Drew has warped what the expectations should be for Baylor basketball, right? Like before they won the title, before they had that run with 4 straight years where they were the number 1 team in the country, our thought was like anytime Baylor's top 15, it's Baylor. They're having a really good year. And now they won a title, so it's like if they're not top 5, what is happening down there? And they're going to be a top 25 team. They're going to be a tournament team this year again. But I think that what's happened is Scott's warped what the expectations should be at that program. And that's credit to him and the job that he's done.
Yeah. The 2 guys that I'm intrigued by, I mean, Obi Agbem, coming over from Wyoming, was a high-level scorer there, averaged over 16 points per game. And then Michael Ratai could be the real matchup problem for teams in the Big 12. I mean, that guy last year, he led a win over Gonzaga. I remember it was a crazy scene out in Corvallis. He averaged 17 and 7 per game. That's going to play for Scott Drew. That's a guy that at 6'9", great length. He's actually a Germany native, T.O. He's got some international flair to his game, but he plays hard and he's physical. For me with Baylor, the question is the 5. What happens for them in the paint again? What happens for them at the center position?
Mm-hmm. Who on that roster's won? Obi Agbin was on a Wyoming team. It was awful.
Yep.
No, Dan
Skillings
is talented, but Cincinnati was awful.
JJ White won at Omaha, but he's probably going to be a bench guy. Like Cam Carr won at Tennessee, but he's going to end up being a bench guy. Justin Bodo won at High Point, but like he's your 5. So is that really the guy that you want to be your?
Average 5 points a game at High Point.
Yeah, he was their starting center. But that's what he did. Like he just stood at the rim and blocked shots.
We'll see. Tunde Yesaflu is pretty good. He is a bull in a china shop. He can score a lot of points. Scott's going to put him in positions to score. I think he could also make a run at all freshman team in the league. He's a top 20 kid, and he's tough as nails. Doesn't like to pass much, which kind of makes sense for this roster.
Bucket getter.
Huh?
He's a bucket getter.
Yeah, he's only looking to score. Yeah. Not a whole lot else to his game. But you look at some of these other guys. Are there enough winning habits, and is Scott Drew going to be able to get that going in a 1-year sample size for a lot of these guys? Obi Agbin's a 5th year. Skilling's a senior. So winning habits are hard, especially in a league like the Big 12, which is going to be brutal. I think they're going to be good. Do they make the tournament? I think they do, but it's going to be 8, 9, 10
kind
of deal. So we'll see.